Went on strike today, virtually cutting off Iran's petroleum exports.
University students demonstrating in Tehran, shouting death to the Shah, pledge allegiance to the Islamic movement of the Ayatollahs.
The number killed in Tehran since the beginning of the month is probably well over 100, but people...
The Iranian Revolution overthrew the government in 1979 and began the Islamic Republic. This was done through the overthrow of Mohammad Reza Shah due to his use of secret police to control his country. Meanwhile, in Iraq, Saddam Hussein was in power. Factors that led up to the war was territorial dispute over the Shat Arab, the waterway boundary between the two countries, which was used for merchant ships, transportation, and Saddam attacked because he did not want another revolution occurring in, so he wanted to stop this influence before it reached his and make him get overthrown. They also attacked because Iran is a oil-rich country and wanted this source as their own. The start of the war was when Iraq attacked Iran September 22, 1980, the oil-producing border of Iran. The combatants of this war were Iran, Iraq, the United States of America, Kuwait, Soviet Union, People's Mujahideen of Iran, Arab League, Kurdistan Democratic Party, Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, Islamic Supreme Council of Iraq, and the Socialist Republic of Romania. The type of warfare used showed no care for the people. Many young Iranians were used in human wave attacks. Chemical weapons used towards Iranians and Saddam's own people, the Kurds of Halabja. There was also the War of Cities, which fired on civilians. And also, to deprive both sides of the War of Tankers, they took out oil tankers and merchant ships. The war was also fought mainly with chemical weapons such as gas attacks and missiles. A ceasefire then ended the war on August 1988.
There was a time in history when the U.S. viewed allies of Iran as bad. The United States also cut off supplies for the war that were being sent to Iran. President Reagan removed Iraq as a known terrorist country. The NSA told the United States whatever was necessary and legal to prevent Iraq from losing the war. The U.S. approval allowed Iraq to purchase tools, computers, metals, chemicals, instruments for the use of chemical and nuclear weapons. They also used satellite images of where to attack the enemy. The war also violated the Arms Export Control Act by secretly allowing Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Hughes to bomb Iraq. The U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency helped Saddam Hussein with battleassists and battle debriefings as well. In the last major battle, 65,000 Iranian troops were killed with poisonous gases, violating chemical weapon use during the Geneva Accords of 1925. There were three main distinguishes of the war. First, it lasted about 8 years long, which made this war longer than both world wars, because Iran didn't want to end the war, and Iraq couldn't end the war. Second, the war was asymmetrical because both sides were exporting oil and purchasing military imports, while Iraq was well supported by Kuwait and Saudi Arabia by giving them advanced weapons and expertise on a much larger margin than Iran. Third, it had three modes of warfare, absent in all wars since 1945. Indiscriminate ballistic missiles attacks on cities by both sides, but mostly by Iraq. The extensive use of chemical weapons, mostly by Iraq. Finally, some 520 attacks on third world country oil tankers in the Persian Gulf, which Iraq employed by main aircraft with anti-shipping missiles against tankers lifting oil from Iran's terminals.